Jerry Work with Profit Dig here, sitting here with Jeff Spencer.
What's up, Jerry?
Jeff, how's it going?
Man, I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing real good. So, I've been kind of learning or reading about general contractors taking on design tasks for the client.
Design build project.
Design build project, yeah. And then, the general contractor kind of relying on the subcontractors for, the engineering of particular parts of it. Value added engineering?
Yes,
Well, what's your take on that?
I think, for the most part, it's a good thing because in a lot of cases you are eliminating the engineering and the architectural status of this, and you're relying on one entity. So, yes, it's a little higher cost, but it's also a savings for the owner because he's saving in engineering and architectural fees. And my take on it is like when you come in and you have a good relationship with this contractor, and they reached out to you, and in your scope of work, you're not the only contractor they're reaching out to. They reached out to multiple contractors. They probably got 4 or 5 contractors that do the same line of work you do.
Sure.
That they're reaching out to see who gives them the best information. And then they'll compile that information and put together a set of drawings and send out for, a hard number. Well, at that point, you come into some value engineering. It's like I look at this project, I give a price on it, and then when it gets into the negotiation stage, I'm like, hey, it looks like to me we could do this, this, or this, and it would work better and save a little time, save a little money. Well, at that point, to me, where real value comes in is like, you're able to give a percentage back to the owner to save them money. But when you do that, if you play your cards right and don't get too aggressive, you can pad your pocket a little bit too. You can elevate your profit margin a little bit. You can add a little bit of stuff in there. So if you see $100,000 savings and you give them back $70,000, you keep $30,000. It's a win-win for everybody.
If you figure out a way to save this much money, you don't have to give it all back.
Exactly.
You can still keep a little bit for yourself,
yeah.
Which makes sense because it was your brain power that came up with that idea.
And a lot of subcontractors out there, they get tired of value engineering or design build projects because it's like you go through a number of them. You may do 10, 12 of them, and it's like you're not awarded any of the jobs. Well, don't give up on it. Keep doing it because you're eventually going to get one. Especially if you're dealing with a contractor that you trust. But it's like you've got to find your happy medium. You've got to be able to do this on a regular basis. With this 1 or 2, 3 companies, however many companies you may be doing design build with, and figure out where the happy medium is. To get you your first awarded project.
It seems like that could be a business building function if you become known as a guy who can think creatively and regularly, save the GC money on projects.
Well, when you get to be a seasoned project manager or estimator, you start to see things. Like, well, why couldn't we do this? It's the same outcome. You get the same thing from it. But it may be less footage, it may be less materials, it may be less labor, it may be less yardage, whatever scope of work you're working in, or doing, there may be some cost savings there. It's everybody sees things different. And, engineers, they get paid, and architects, they get paid, a lot of money to design a project. But I'm going to say probably 95% of them have no field experience in the construction field. And so actually being able to go out and physically put a job in gives you a different perspective of how that job needs to go.
So, plus, whatever your specialty is, you should know a whole lot about that area, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, way more than an engineer is going to know sitting back in an office.
More than likely, yes.
Right. So that's your way to make more money by saving money and pick up business in the future if you do that regularly as far as thinking creatively to save your clients money.
Exactly.
All right, that's some good advice, Jeff.
Yeah, man.
And we didn't even charge for it. Y'all check us out at profitdig.com.
See y'all.